Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss a topic which is very important and relevant for each one of us and for the society at large. Social commitment. I shall begin this topic with the story of Babar Ali, a 9-year-old boy from Murshidabad, West Bengal. He was studying in 5th standard. One day, while on his way back from school, Babar noticed children working in the fields with their parents. He knew how difficult it was for families of his neighbourhood to make a living and how they relied on their children to help out in the farms. The solution that came simply to this young boy was to begin teaching these kids whatever he had learned in school. He began with 8 kids in his backyard, bringing broken pieces of chalk from his classroom to use on terracotta tiles, which served as a makeshift blackboard. He was a dedicated teacher and his passion rubbed on to the students. Many a day, he would start teaching the waiting group immediately on returning from school, even without having his lunch. Slowly, children started flocking to his class and numbers swelled. Today, Babar's school has 800 students with an equal boy-girl ratio and has classes till standard 8. He still does not charge any fee from the students and now has 10 volunteer teachers who help him with the teaching without any salary. Dear students, this is a great example of social commitment. Babar was not only thinking about his own studies, he was also very concerned about other children like him who had no opportunity to go to school and study. Here we see a student with social commitment. Now let me ask you, how did Babar get this wonderful quality of social commitment? Babar himself acknowledges that he was able to achieve this solely because of the support he received from his parents. From this we understand that the foundation of social commitment is laid in the family. Now we shall examine the factors that lay the foundation for social commitment. Which are the factors? First, family. It is in the family that we first learn as a child what it means to love and how to respond to this love. As we grow older and as we start to share and live in this familial micro community, we gradually imbibe the lessons of sacrifice, obedience, patience, and gratitude. We learn to submit ourselves for the good and for the service of other family members. A family which is born from the loving communion of the persons can make a huge contribution to the common good. The second factor for the foundation of social commitment is the school and neighbourhood. The school or our neighbourhood is the next learning ground where we learn to accept and respect others. We begin to recognize that our personal interests must be ordered not only to our own individual good but to the common good. The third factor is the village and society at large. The proper functioning of the society is closely connected with the quality of our family relationships. The values we follow, the virtues and good qualities we practice are brought into society to non-family interactions, which in turn lays the foundation for a secured and fraternal society. An old Chinese proverb says, when a man is at peace with himself, he will be at peace with his family. When the families are at peace, there will be peace in the village. When the villages are at peace, there will be peace in the country. When all the countries are at peace, there will be peace in the world. Then man can be at peace. It is undeniable that in every culture, society has an important role in molding a person. Man, for all his needs and necessities, depends on society, and man needs each other. But today, we are in a danger of excluding the social part of our lives. We are shrinking our social life to solely our comfort zone, which may be our immediate families, our friendship groups, often forgetting in the other, in the society. We have become selfish and insular and are mostly blissfully ignorant about the responsibilities we have towards society. Since it is in the family that we learn the basic lessons of life, the family should also be a learning ground for the importance and need of social commitment and responsibility. Dear friends, now let us see how we can give back what we received, how we can be generous to our family and society. Malcolm Bain, a retired professor, Yale University, Texas, says like this: if you wait until you can do everything for everybody instead of something for somebody, you will end up not doing nothing for nobody. We have received our families as a blessing, and we are well aware that we should contribute back to our families. Likewise, we have received much even from the society, including our own existence as human beings. Then, why are we not concerned about giving back to the society? Swami Vivekananda once said, the individual's life is in the life of the whole. The individual happiness is in the happiness of the whole. Apart from the whole, the individual's existence is inconceivable. This is an eternal truth, and is a bedrock on which the universe is built. The families, which always aim for the good and happiness of its members, ought to lead them to the joy of their wholeness, which is perceived only in the happiness of the others in society. According to Hindu religion, the very first goal, purusharthas, in a human life is to attain dharma. In Mahabharata, this is how Lord Krishna explains dharma to Arjuna. Dharma sustains the society. Dharma maintains the social order. Dharma ensures well-being and progress of humanity. Dharma is surely that which fulfills these objectives. Firstly, dharma refers to the values we should follow in life to lead a peaceful life. But it stirs in us a wider possibility of using our personal resources to ensure the well-being of others in our family, neighbourhood, village, city or state, or a specific community, or even in the country or the world. When we realize this mission, our lives take on a greater dimension. Remember Jesus telling us, do unto others as others would do unto you. This should help us lead a life of selfless service, sacrifice and contribution. Making a difference in society honors and fulfills our human spirit and brings to life the true possibility and potential of our human existence. Indeed, this has made Tagore say, I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted and behold, service was joy. Next, we shall consider what are the challenges for this goal of social commitment and ways to overcome those challenges. Number one, disconnected with our neighbors. Today, my dear friends, we live in a society where many of us feel disconnected with our neighbors. Just try to name 20 people living on your street or so. Many of us could do it, but some may not be able to do it. For most of us, our neighbors have vanished or don't even exist. Our lengthy school days and working hours and negligence to spend time in our neighborhood make us scarcely encounter our neighbors, or to recognize them, trust them, or to befriend them. Whatever the facts behind the disappearing neighbors, it could poison and kill man, the social being. Mother Teresa has prescribed an apt antidote for this condition. She says, let us meet each other with a smile, for smile is the beginning of love. Though we don't have time to meet and talk, our relationships start with a smile. By consciously developing the habits of participating in community get-togethers, celebrating feasts and birthdays together, getting involved in the residents' associations, etc., we could overcome this problem. Second challenge, apathetic about politics. Recent studies show that students and youth are apathetic about politics and do not really follow political news. Most of us hardly know anything about political topics and so low trust in government-related institutions. The reasons for this could be traced back to the less interest shown by families to talk about politics at home. The corrupted political scenario always holds back families from encouraging children from entering politics. As a nation building is an important task of the family. It has the duty to raise children to be responsible and cultured citizens who could be an asset to the nation. Sharing our opinions about a political scenario and having some discussions on it in our family rooms, encouraging children to read the daily newspapers and other good articles on current topics would help them to develop their civic sense in a much broader way. The third challenge, forgetting the value of generosity. Today, we often forget the value of generosity, that is, extending a helping hand to others. We have gone blind to the less fortunate around us and their needs. Our families have become more and more introverted and selfish, thinking only of our own economic and material needs and comforts. We are mindless about the big responsibility towards the you in our society. The I and you in the family should be changed to the we of society. Only this can bring us an eternal bliss and ultimate meaning to our human life. Families should lead by example to educate the young, to help the less fortunate, getting involved in charity organizations, encouraging the younger ones to save money and donate it to the poor, visiting the sick and lonely, or serving food to the poor in the neighborhood would be some good examples to be followed. Moreover, having any family or neighborhood groups that come together frequently to evaluate the current political and social situation, to discuss, plan, and encourage each other for the service of others will provide a boost towards being socially responsible families. And finally, the concept Ubuntu, which means I am because you are. This is an African term which has got a philosophical explanation. It says, I am because you are. It means people are people through other people. When we acknowledge the existence of others as a reason of our existence, it calls for mutual help and unity among us. If our families could hold on deeply to this Ubuntu concept, it would help us contribute back to society in whatever small or big way possible. Let us now listen to the inspiring and meaningful words of APJ Abdul Kalam, a model of social commitment. These are his words. What can I give? O my fellow citizens, in giving you receive happiness. In body and soul, you have everything to give. If you have knowledge, share it. If you have resources, share them with the needy. Use your mind and heart to remove the pain of the suffering and cheer the sad hearts. In giving you receive happiness. Almighty will bless your actions. Dear students, as an assignment, I would request you to write down what you could do as an individual to contribute to the good of the society. Don't be bogged down by trying to think of big projects. It could be something as simple, keeping your street clean or helping one underprivileged child with mathematics or English, or volunteering with a local NGO for charity. And second thing, discuss and finalize one social project you could take up as a class this school year. So thank you. I hope you have understood this important topic, social responsibility, social commitment, and we shall further discuss it in the class. Thank you. God bless you.